I'm Ellen the Crazy Crafty Lady here with another awesome video. Thought I'd show you another quick and easy quilt square using just some pieces of scrap fabric and a 6-inch square and some sashing ends I made out of my poster board. And we're going to do this on the Janome M7 Continental Professional. And first what we want to do is we want to take and make our little square. So we're going to put it on here and get our little marking device. And we are going to measure our little squares. Just have to trace them like this. Quick and easy. And then we just take our poster board cutouts and go along this on the yellow, and you can use these over and over, and they work great for other projects, other things you might want to do. Two of these. And then we'll make two of these. And if you do them in certain ways, like long-wise and then short-wise, you can save more scraps of fabric for other awesome projects that you might want to make or do, or with leftover scraps. They're always good for stuff. Small pieces are always good for, like if you want to do stuffing and you don't have actual stuffing, you can use all your little small scraps and use them for stuffing to make like dog beds or pillows or things like that. I have done the dog beds with the my little bits of scrap. Then we can get our nice acrylic ruler out and our awesome cutter. Cut our little squares out. Nice little piece of scrap left over for another little square or whatever project you would like to make with that. And then you get some awesome little strips out of these, which is quite lovely. I always save my little strips. They can be used for a number of things. You can also use the little pieces for a number of things too, which is awesome. So I always set my scraps aside. And I do all these awesome, wonderful things with the scraps. Just whatever projects you want to come up with. There's these two nice, awesome pieces are done, cut out so nicely. And then we have our other two longer pieces to cut out. And you get nice strips out of these too. I do the long wise first because then you get longer strips, and then they're better to make stuff with, nice longer strips. And then you can cut the short ones out after the long ones and set all your scraps aside. They can go into the scrap bucket. I keep a scrap can just for my scraps, and some certain bags too, just for my scraps, and nothing more than the scraps. And then I can use those scraps either if I need to practice a sewing thing or I need to use it for stuffing or There's enough in there to make a square for something. Then I will do that, of course. One more side to cut on these. And of course, there you have it. 2 longer strips are cut, which are ready to go. And now we have to cut just our little square out of here for the middle. And then we got left a nice piece to make another little square for something. Always good for the scrap pile. Sometimes I put the bigger pieces in another bag and use them for projects. And then just the little square scraps go into my garbage can. So that's what I do with those. And now we have last piece, last side. Our awesome. Always want to close this up when you're done because you can get your fingers. I've done that several times. And there's our other last little square and all our little pieces right here. So what we want to do now is we want to hook our little sides up, which we will do. Put the wrong sides facing together like that. We can add our little clips on here. A couple little clips just to keep it in place. Sorry, folks. Goes this way. Right sides together like that. And then we just add a clip or 2 on each end. And then we can also do the other side. Put them together. Put a couple clips in there. And now we're ready for the sewing machine. So let's grab our camera and we'll take this and us to the sewing machine. We'll set that on the machine. And we'll set this up here on the sewing machine where you can see. And what we want to do is we want to hit number 4 over here. That way we get an edge for our sewing. And then we will go along. We can move a clip down a hair and go along the edge about 1/4 of an inch. Lower our presser foot. And then we will just do a couple of stitches backwards and forwards and sew down till we get all the way to the other end. Move our clips as we go along. Couple of back stitches. And then our awesome foot pedal down below does the cutting. And then we go to this side, do the same thing. Do a little bit of a back stitch. I really like doing these little squares. They are quite fun. Sometimes you want to go really slow at the end because you can curl up your piece of work. Cut it off, take it with you. And now we're going to take this piece as we go around here, drop off our clips, And we're going to take it to the ironing board. We have this awesome iron over here. And we are going to press open our seams. And we have to do a reset on our iron because it shuts off automatically, which is a good thing to have. And then it takes about 60 seconds for that. So while that's heating up, we can press open our seams, and then it's heating up already. So we can just do a quick pressing of our seams. You always got to press the seams. And there we have a nice little square started. And now we can go back over here to our sewing table. And we can add our other strips. And we can put one strip at the top, like that. Use our little awesome clips. And put a few clips in it. Just enough to hold it down. Just enough to hold it down. And then we'll do the other side the same way. Grab a few of these clips. And put enough just to hold it down. And then we'll take it to our sewing machine. And then we'll go back to the machine. Take one clip and move it down. Push the down lever. Do a couple of back stitches. And we'll sew downward. Do our cut off. Sew down our last side. Oops, accidentally hit the cutoff button. Cut it off. Now take this back to the ironing board. Press open our final seams. Just give it a little pressing. Take our awesome iron to the pressing. And then if you need to modify or trim or do anything like that. And there it is, folks. We have an awesome little quick, easy quilt square. And that is that. You can make a pillow out of it, or you can make a quilt, or just about anything you would like out of that. And that is our video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.